the automaton can go to multiple states. Okay, multiple states, and this is given by K. Okay, K stands for multiple states, right? Where K should be greater than or equal to 0. So it means that it can go to K different states. It means that it can go to K different states, okay, where K should be greater than equal to 0. Now the next point to remember here is computation happens, okay? Next point to remember is that computation happens simultaneously. Computation happens simultaneously along each of these paths, okay? Along each of this, along each of this paths. Okay, this is the second scenario which you have to consider, and the next one is it has epsilon transitions. What do we mean by this epsilon? We already know that epsilon, it stands for null state or an empty state or empty set of states. That's given by epsilon. Okay, so whenever we have an empty state or empty set of states, we represent that in the form of epsilon. So similarly, in NFA also, we have epsilon transitions. Okay, it means that if there is a epsilon transition, then automaton moves to state. We'll take an example over here. Now, for example, consider that, just consider this example. For example, there are two states here. State number one is your QI, and your second state is QJ, right? QI, QJ, and you have a transition epsilon. Okay, QI is sending a transition epsilon to the state QJ, right? So here the automaton moves to the state QJ, and QJ without reading. Okay, QJ, it not only moves the QJ, but QJ without reading the next input bit. We will understand this when we'll take some example. So here we can say that the automaton, okay, you can just write it down. We can say that the automaton moves to state, okay, automaton moves to state QJ, and QJ is without, okay, QJ without reading the next input. What does that mean? We will see that. Okay, QJ without reading the next input, reading the next input bit. You can just write it down, make a note of it. Okay, now next one, it says that our next scenario or next point to consider over here is that an input is accepted. It says that an input is accepted if there is some, okay, write it down, if there is some computation path. Okay, after this we will take one example. If there is some computation path that leads to an accept state, computation path that leads to an accept state. Okay, these are the points, guys, which you have to remember. We'll just look into it one by one. Okay, we have started with non-deterministic finite automaton. Okay, how it is different from DFA. We will also see the difference between NFA and DFA, but in today's lecture, we'll focus on understanding the NFA by taking an example, right? So the non-deterministic finite automaton, it says that we have to remember 4 points over here. Point number one is from a state Q on an input symbol A, right? The automaton can go to multiple states. Here K is given by the states, okay, where K should be greater than or equal to 0. Point number 2, computation happens simultaneously along each of these paths. Computation happens simultaneously along each of these paths. Then it has epsilon transitions. For example, if there are two states Qi and Qj and you have epsilon transition in between them, the epsilon transition moves from Qi to Qj. So the automaton moves to state Qj here. Okay, automaton moves to state Qj and Qj without reading the next input. And the last point to remember is an input is accepted if there is some computation path that leads to an accept state. What can you understand by this, guys? Last point, an input is accepted if there is some computation path that leads to an accept state. Yes, anyone? Baljeev, are you present?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Tell me, what can you understand by this last line?
Ma'am, just a second. I'm just computing it.
Yes. It says that an input, okay, it says that an input is accepted if there is some computation path that leads to an accept state. Yes, how long are you taking for this? It's simple, right? We have a start state over here and we have a final state, right? It means what? One of the computation should be present in the accept state. The final state is also called as the accepting state, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So we'll take one example over here. Okay, now I hope you guys have written this. Have you written this?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good. Now let's take an example here. Okay. Now for example, if there are two states, okay. If there are two states, for example, this, okay. No, we'll consider four states here, okay. Q naught, Q1, you can also draw along with me, Q2, and you have one more state, that's your final state, and that's Q3, right? I have a transition 0 which goes to Q naught itself. Then my next transition goes to Q1, that's 1. Another transition, I have 0 and epsilon. Similarly, I give 1 to Q3. And I also have 0, 1 present in Q3 itself in the final accepting state, where Q1, Q naught is my start state. This is the NFA which is given to me. Now tell me guys, why it is called as NFA from this figure? If it was a DFA, just remember that the main difference, the note. Okay, I will also give you some comparison points, but still you have to remember that in NFA, we consider epsilon transitions. Epsilon transitions. Now, by looking at this diagram, it must be clear that, as you can see here, Q1 gives Q2, what it gives 0, comma epsilon. We have epsilon transition present in this figure or in this finite automaton. That's why it is called as an NFA, which stands for non-deterministic finite automaton. Whereas in our DFA, we didn't had this, right? In our DFA, for example, if it was a DFA, it would be what? It would be, for example, this one, etc., etc. I'm just writing an example, okay? 0, 1. It's in the form of 0, 1, etc., etc. We don't have epsilon transition present in DFA, but as soon as you look into this figure, or this automaton, finite automaton, where you observe that there is an epsilon transition, at that point it should be clear to you that it is an NFA because it has epsilon transition present in it. Okay, so this is a NFA. Now we are supposed to, now what we have to do over here is we have to write the different transitions, whatever transitions are happening in this finite automaton, we are supposed to write that. How do we write that now? Yes. Now suppose I want to write a transition. Okay. Suppose I want to write a transition Q naught comma 1. What will be my output here? What it will give me? Q naught comma 1. See, Q naught comma 1. Q naught to 0, it gives to Q naught itself. Okay, it goes to Q naught itself. But I'm interested in Q naught 1. So Q naught 1, it gives me what? Q naught 1, it gives me. Yeah, one more point to remember is we also have 0 1 present here. Now suppose there is a slight change here. If I didn't had this 0 1 over here, it would be Q1, right? That's correct. But if I want to add one more transition 1 here, I can add. So that's what it's saying, guys. Just remember the difference is that a DFA supports single state transitions, whereas NFA supports multiple state transitions. Yes, DFA supports single state transitions, whereas NFA supports multiple state transitions. That's the difference between DFA and NFA. When you look into this finite automaton diagram, in Q naught, you are having two transition states, right? Two transitions, 0, 1, right? Multiple I'm having. Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
We are having multiple states here. So in NFA, we can have epsilon transitions as well as we can have multiple transitions. So I can write here Q naught on 1, it gives me Q naught, and it will also give me Q1. This is my first transition. Okay, is that clear? Now if I write, okay, now this is just an example which I'm explaining you. Okay, now if I write Q1 comma 1, now tell me what will be the number of states present here. Q naught Q1 1. Do we have anything? Do we have any transition 1 going from Q1 to anywhere?
No,
Over
ma'am.
here we do not have it, so let it be. So it's an empty state, we keep it like that. Okay, now next one. Suppose I want to write down the transition Q1 comma 0. What will be my number of states over here? Q1 0. Q1 on 0, it gives me Q2 only, right?
Q2.
Q1 on 0, it gives Q2. Is this clear? Q1
Yes,
on
ma'am.
0 gives us Q2. Now similarly, if I want to write down the transaction Q1 comma epsilon, now what my out here, what will be my set of states here? Q1 epsilon. It will be Q2. Q2 is already, because Q1 on epsilon goes to Q2, right? Q1 on epsilon goes to Q2, right? But here, one more point, as we stated here, see, no, I think I erased that. One more point to remember was that, for example, if there are two states, this one, the Qi and Qj, the automaton moves to state Qj and Qj without reading the next input. It means that whenever we are having this epsilon transition, whenever we are trying to compute the finite set of states over here, you are supposed to write that previous state itself from where it goes. So here, Q1 comma epsilon, Q1 on epsilon gives me Q2, but I will also write Q1, that present state itself. I will write that also, Q1 comma Q2. This is the difference between DFA and NFA. Okay. So just write it down till this much.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes. Yes.
Ma'am, then in Q1 comma 0 also we will write na Q1 comma Q2.
Where? This one?
Yes, ma'am.
Q1 comma 0, right?
Yes, ma'am.
See, over here, what we are interested, see, just make a note over here. Whenever there are epsilon transitions, whenever I'm supposed to find out the transitions of epsilon, for example, if it is Q naught epsilon or it is Q1 epsilon, only at that point you have to write the previous state, present, also the next state. But if I'm having 0 or 1, over there you do not have to write it. See, there is a difference between this first one. You might be getting confused in this. So in this first transition, as you look into, guys, Q naught comma 1, okay, over here in the state Q naught, I was having two transitions, 0 comma 1, right? 0 comma 1 over here. That's why I was writing Q naught and Q1, because I'm already having 1 present in Q naught and I'm also giving 1 to Q1. That's why I'm writing that. But when you look into this Q1 comma epsilon over here, you do not have to, only in epsilon you have to write the present state. But if I'm interested in computing the value of Q1 comma 0, in that case, I do not have to consider the present state. Okay, it's only whenever you encounter this epsilon transition like this, whenever you are supposed to compute the transition of epsilon, this is called as epsilon transition. So whenever you want to compute the epsilon transition, only at that point you consider the present state. Otherwise, you don't have to consider, right? Just write it down. Is
Yes,
it
ma'am.
clear?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so just write it down so it will help you to solve our example. Now over here, we have computed the transitions. Okay, we have written all the transitions present in the finite automaton. Now we are interested in what? We will see whether it is working or not. Okay, so just write down. So we will write a point over here. Consider an input. Okay, we'll write down a question here. Consider an input W is equal to 0, 1, 0, 1, 1, 0. Okay. This input is given to us and we have to check whether that is working, whether the finite automaton is working or not. It's already given to us. Okay. We have not computed the finite automaton. The NFA was already given to us. From that NFA, we found out the transitions. But just be very clear over here. Epsilon transition. If you're not understanding, please ask questions right now. Okay. Is this clear? Q naught comma 1.
Yes, ma'am. Clear.
Okay. So the question given to us is, now consider an input W is equal to 0, 1, 0, 1, 1, 0. This is given to us. Now we have to check whether that is working or not. Now how to do that in NFA? We have already done that when we speak about DFA. We have already checked it, the present state, what's the output, what's it's going to where, and all that we had done. But here in NFA, what we will do is we will just make two columns here. Okay, in the first column, just write down set of states. In the first column, just write down set of states the automaton is in. Set of states the automaton is in. And here you have to write the symbol red. Okay, suppose I have made this two columns now. Set of states the automaton is in and symbol red. Okay. Now the initial state is Q naught. Okay. And what is our symbol here? First input symbol, that is 0. So I write 0 here. Okay. Now next is what? Next I'm having my next input symbol is 1. My next input symbol is 1. So I'm writing that 1 over here. And just check into the figure. On 1, what all transitions do you have when you read 1, but you are still present in Q naught itself? Yes.
Q0 and Q1.
Q0 and Q1, right? So here you write what? Q0 and Q1. Now, when I move to my next transition, my next input, that is 0. So now just check. But here you have to consider the previous also, okay? Now on 0, it gives me, you already have, what do you have already? Q0, Q1 you already have, right? Just check it and let me know. On 0, you will get what? Now you are present in Q1. Yes,
Q2.
you get Q2, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, very good. You get Q2. And what else? And over here, you have to consider the previous states also. Check Q0 also. In Q0, are you getting 0 somewhere?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so that Q0 you have to consider, right?
Q0
And then
and
what
Q2.
else? Q0 and Q2, right?
Yes.
Yes. Now again, what's the next input? 0 is done. Next input is 1. So we write 1 here. Check. Tell me the states now. Again, the states will be
Q0, Q1, and Q3.
Q0,
Yes, ma'am.
Q0,
Q1,
Q1,
Q3.
and what else?
Q3.
Can we write Q3? Yes, we can write, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Our next input is 1 again. Now tell me what will be the states here? Q0. Yes, it will be.
Q1, Q3.
Yes, Q1 and Q3. Do we have to write Q2 also over here? And if not, tell me why not.
It's never reaching, one's never reaching Q2.
One is never reaching Q2. That's what you're saying, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, okay, suppose I write here Q3. Okay. Now, the point to remember here is if you have epsilon, okay, now we will make slight change in our states. This is correct, whatever you're telling me. Now, do we have epsilon present? Yes, it's going to Q2, right? We have to consider epsilon transition also. Means the state where epsilon is present, we have to consider that also every time. Once we reach that state, okay? So once I reach this state, I have to consider epsilon also. Means I have to write which states now? I have to write one more state here, that is Q2. Over here also I have to write one more state, that is Q2. Whether you are having the whether you're having the input symbol 0 or 1 or you're not having, but still if you are having epsilon transition over there, you always have to mention that state. You always have to write down that state name. Is this clear? Yes. Yeah. Yes, guys, try to understand. Ask queries. Yes, Aviraj.
मैम अविराज का नेटवर्क इशू है कुछ.
Acha, acha. So do you have any doubt in this? See, epsilon transitions over here, they are saying that whenever you are having epsilon transition present, you have to, whether that next input, you don't have to think about that. You have to consider that particular state and include that in that. That's why I have included Q2 also, because it is getting epsilon transitions. Okay. Now we will take one more example, then you will understand in a better way. Okay, now our next input is, we are done with 0, 1, 0, 1, 1. Our next input is 0 here. So I write 0 here. And what will be my number of states over here? Finally,
All of the states.
all of the states Q0, Q1, Q2, and Q3. Right. So can I say the input is accepted at the end of my this thing? At the
Yes,
end of
ma'am.
my input symbol, I'm one of my computation. It says that in NFA, one of the computation should be present in final state. Our final state is Q3. Since the computation contains this Q3, it is present in the final state. So we can say that therefore the input, therefore the input is accepted. Therefore the input is accepted. So this was the example of that. Okay, should I erase this?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so in the next lecture, we will see one more example on this. Okay, and we will see epsilon. I know that epsilon transition is a new topic for you, because in DFA we did not had that. In DFA we just considered a single state, and then we moved on further. But in NFA you have to consider epsilon transitions also. So by taking 2-3 examples only, then you will understand that. Okay, now we had seen that the automaton is working in this example. Now what do we have to do is, okay, now just write down the difference between, there is a difference between, we will see the difference between DFA, okay, the difference between DFA and NFA. Okay, make 2 columns, DFA and NFA. Okay, so point number 1. Suppose you have a state Q on an input symbol A. Here only a single state is accepted. Single state, just write down the main points here. Single state is accepted. And in case of NFA, if you have a state Q on input symbol A, multiple states are accepted. Multiple states are accepted. Point number 2. Here you have single computation. In DFA, you have single computation. Now, because in DFA, when we look back to our DFA, we did not had any epsilon transitions present. Okay. And so we were just interested in only one single state, and then we moved further, right? So that's why it is called as only single computation is performed. But in NFA, you have multiple computations. In NFA, you have multiple computations. Now, there are no epsilon transition present in DFA. No epsilon transitions. Okay, we did not had any epsilon values present in the transition. So there were no epsilon transitions. But in NFA, you have epsilon transitions. In NFA, you have epsilon transitions. Okay. Point number 4 is you accept. In DFA, you accept. In DFA, you accept if the computation ends. You accept if the computation ends at an accept state. Okay, at an accept state. Over here, you accept if it says that accept if one of the computation path, accept if one of the computation paths ends at an accept state. Just write down this differentiation. Okay, these are the differences between DFA and NFA. I'll just give you 5 minutes to note it down.
Ma'am, in NFA, shouldn't
Yes.
it be final state?
Which one?
In NFA, shouldn't it be final state? Because then both the points are similar, right?
Okay, this one you are saying, right?
Yeah, ma'am.
See,
NFA,
here.
because
Okay.
just now, a
Okay.
moment ago, you told us that it's accepted in the final state, right? Q3.
Yes. Yes. Just make a note here. I understood what you are saying. In this definition, the accept state is nothing but it is your final state. Accept state is your final state. So you can either write accept state here or you can write final state here. Final state is always called as an accepting state, right? Final state is always called as an accepting state. Now just try to understand the difference. The fourth point, the fourth differentiation point, it states that it accepts, okay, DFA accepts if the computation ends at an final state or an accept state, okay, whereas in NFA, the NFA accepts if one of the computation paths ends at a final state. What's the difference here? In DFA you considered only a single computation. Are you getting this? Suppose I had Q naught and I had Q1, I had 0 1, I had 1 here. We forgot about the path. We are not interested about the path here. We were just interested in the computation. It means the next state, which was getting the input, right? So here we were considering the computation, but in NFA we consider the computation path. Path means along with that we also consider the previous state, right? Q naught comma Q1. We consider the complete path it is traveling from one state to another state. That's the difference between the DFA and NFA, right? Accepting state is nothing but it is the final state, right? So in the formal definition of NFA and DFA, they are writing it as accept state. So don't get confused there. Accept state is equal to final state. Remember that. Accept state means the final state, because what we are doing here, we are just checking whether that language is accepted or not, right? So whenever that computation is present in the final state, only then we can say that the language is accepted. Okay, so final state is similar to final state is same as accept state, right? Is this clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Got it, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, now in the last point the DFA states that we are considered only in we accept, the DFA accept if the computation ends at an accept state, whereas in NFA accept if one of the computation paths ends at an accept state. A complete path is considered in NFA and we have to check whether that path is reaching or it is going into the accept state or not. That's the difference. So just write down these 4 points. We will just try to understand these 4 points again. So in DFA and NFA, your first point is on a given state Q, on an input symbol a single state is computed, a single state is considered. Whereas in NFA, given a state Q on an input symbol A, multiple states are considered. Okay. Second point is DFA is a single computation, whereas NFA is a multiple computation. In DFA, we do not have any epsilon transitions, so there are no epsilon transitions. Whereas in NFA, we have epsilon transitions. In DFA accepts if the computation ends at an accept state, and NFA accepts if one of the computation paths ends at accept state. So this is the difference between DFA and NFA, these 4 main points. Okay, finished, guys?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, so we will move on to our formal definition then. Okay, so over here, the definition of DFA, it says, definition of NFA, it says that definition is what? We will see the formal definition of NFA. It is a non-deterministic finite automaton. A non-deterministic finite automaton is a 5-tuple. It is similar to DFA in this way. It is also composed of 5 tuples. There is only a difference in the transitions, which you have to understand here. It is so our DFA was given by M is equal to Q comma sigma comma delta, and then you have Q naught, and then you have F. Similarly, your NFA is given by N is equal to Q comma sigma comma delta comma Q naught comma F, and we all know what this stands for. Okay, Q stands for your final set of states, sigma is the input alphabet, this delta is your transition, Q naught is the initial state, and F is the final state. Okay, in DFA you had delta sigma, that gives me K. Okay, K is the set of states. Okay, and set of states, and sigma is the input alphabet or the input, so it is giving me this. Okay, but here in NFA it is giving me the powers of that set. Okay, so here in NFA we can say that delta is what? Delta is Q. Okay, here it was not K, just consider Q here. Okay, so that is better to understand. Okay, this was my transition which I obtained from DFA. Now in terms of NFA, your delta is given by delta is Q cross sigma epsilon. Sigma epsilon. We are considering the epsilon transitions here. Q cross sigma epsilon, that's giving me 2 raised to Q, powers of 2. Okay, 2 raised to Q. This is the difference. 2 raised to Q. So for us, for example, for a set, okay, for a set A, 2 raised to A, for a set A, 2 raised to A denotes the power set of A. Okay, denotes the power set of A, right? So that's the difference here in the transition of DFA and NFA. In DFA, the transition was given by delta Q cross sigma. It gives me Q. We do not have the powers, okay, power set. But over here in NFA, your delta is given by Q cross sigma epsilon, which is giving us 2 raised to Q. So for example, for a set A, 2 raised to A denotes the power set of A. So here 2 raised to Q denotes the power set of Q. Okay. So in DFA, a power set was not present or power set was absent. But in NFA, we are having the power set. Okay. So just write it down. So just remember that here in the in transitions or computing the transitions of NFA, the power sets are considered, and we also consider the epsilon transitions. But in DFA, we do not have that. Is this clear, guys?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I hope it's clear, right? Oh,
Yes, ma'am.
okay. So yes. Okay. Just remember that we are having power sets over here in NFA, but in DFA, we do not have that. Okay, guys, now let me take your attendance. I'll stop sharing my screen. Have you guys noted it down?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Just give me a second.